Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Connect 2017. Please welcome on stage Guy Gecht.
I got this feeling inside my bones.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So good to be back in the Wynn Hotel in Vegas for the 11th time. So good to see so many familiar faces and new faces. This is an annual gathering with our customers and partners and has tremendous value for us. Once again, we have record number of people here, close to about 1,000 customers. We also have over 100 people from the media from around the world. Welcome. This is, outside of Drupa, this is the most attended event by the media in our industry, much bigger than Graph Expo and some other events. So hopefully we give them enough good content for them to report. And for EFI employees, be careful what you say. You know, it might be a headline in India or China because of that. So for me, this is actually, I counted back, it's my 14 times that I'm giving the keynote address in Connect. They keep inviting me for a reason I don't know. But it's a great thing. And when I first came here, it was 2003, and we had to explain why we're trying to buy Print Cafe. It was really not obvious for a lot of people. And in the following few years, we tried to explain how we're going to improve Print Cafe, how we're going to go back to investing and helping customers to get the maximum out of their MIS, and what we're going to do next. And then, you know, we shared that. So a lot of my talk was about EFI, what we do, where we're going. And we kind of, few years, we got to the habit that we kept acquisition announcement to Connect Keynote, so we will announce it at Connect. And then we figure out people figuring what we're doing and where we're going. Maybe we should talk about, we'll take this once in a year opportunity to talk about where technology is going. You know, headquartered in Silicon Valley, we're a technology company, and how do we think that impacts our industry? So today I want to do exactly that. I want to talk about the next big thing in technology, and because it's something that changed, and I may have some answers, but I think at the end of the day I might actually start more questions than answers, but I think it's a very good topic to think about. So in our lifetime, at least most of us, other than the very young, we actually saw three big revolutions in technology. And I'm going to talk about the fourth one. And it's unusual. Technology changed a lot in the last few years, much more than before. A lot of people talk about the Industrial Revolution. Each one of those revolutions we had effect maybe almost as similar to the Industrial Revolution in a very short period of time. So the first one was in the 80s, the personal computers. All of a sudden, we had ability to have computer power at our desk, something only available to data centers with mini computer mainframe, with storage, with user interface, with our ability to do our own things, to develop our own personal applications. It brought the computer power to the home, to your desktop at work, to the factories, and it started a big revolution with being more efficient, getting data to people. That was outstanding. And then the next step, built on this, had even a bigger impact, the internet. That was in kind of mid-90s, started with the browser and grew, obviously, to have the social media and many things like that. And we all know that that's also impacted our industry quite a bit. Some areas got a lot of pressure because of the internet. And some areas got actually great opportunities because of the internet. And that's where EFI actually decided that's what we want to do as our mission and our strategy. We want to connect the beautiful online world with the beautiful images in the physical world. And that we continue to do that with a lot of applications like great clothes printed by Reggiani or signage, next year, corrugated packaging, building materials, labels, beautiful brochures that's supported by a Fiery, and so on. So the internet really impacts everybody in a profound way, including most of your businesses and EFI business. And a lot of people in the audience that I know for many years, actually people that took very strong advantage of that, and instead of being a victim to the things that disappear or slow down with the internet, actually became a lot stronger and taking the internet and those personal computers, the next evolution, to help them to build a business. Then came the third one. And the third one was actually making this online world much more profound in our life with the mobile world. Essentially, you get to be connected to the world, to your friends, to your family, to your work, to ability to buy to sell, to trade, to do everything with a small device that, based on research, is on average 6 feet away from your body a day. And I know I speak for EFI employees, it's no more than 3. So, and if you want like the moment that happened, it's probably exactly 10 years ago this month when this announcement came about.
So, 3 things. A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
I think even Steve Jobs didn't see how big of an impact the world will have in 10 years with mobile device. Today we have people buying clothes on phone and seeing with 3D images how they're going to look like with those things. It's just, we do everything with a mobile phone, almost everything. So you might think, what is he going to talk about? What's the 4th revolution? Why isn't that enough? Internet, personal computer, mobile, we still didn't really take into advantage all of that. There's a lot more to come. There's actually a 4th one, bigger one, with a lot more question marks that have a lot of people wondering. And this is the one I want to focus today. So the next big thing is actually artificial intelligence. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. This is not a new topic. Actually, when I was in university 30 years ago, I was just about 10. I actually was participating in a it's worldwide work on artificial intelligence. And the project at the time was essentially to take handwriting notes and have the computer identify capital H, capital A, and 8. Something like that. This is something that a little kid can do. You can do it in your sleep. It's not difficult. For to teach a computer to do that, that was very difficult. And actually, the key was not just to teach the computer to do that. The key was to get the computer to improve over time. So we had a lot of people around the world writing it. We scanned it. We got it to the computer. And then we worked on how do we get the computer to learn. Not just from us telling him you were wrong. It's not an H, it's an A. And by the way, if you see my handwriting, it's really difficult to figure that out. We had to tell them how to get confident that when they say it's A, it's really an A. So teach yourself without any outside feedback. It was an amazing project, but I concluded that artificial intelligence where a computer can do very, very complex things, probably not going to happen in my lifetime. Because it was so tough to get the data, the computer power, to get people to collaborate around the world. And that was a basic topic, differentiate A, H, and A. Right? But something happened. Since the revolution of the PC, and mainly the internet, the artificial intelligence field is accelerating in unbelievable speed. And we may not see it around us, but it's coming very soon. So before I'll give you an example, and we talk about the implication, what's the reasons? Why it went slow and all of a sudden it went fast? Number one, big data. There's a lot of data out there. Computer to learn and to get the conclusion need to get a lot of data. At the time, we had to feed it to a CDC, a mainframe computer, to go and think about it, but it was in one place in Israel when we did it. Now it's all connected. If we wanted to do A, H, and 8, which I think every kid can write the software that does it today, not just to recognize, if you want to do that, you can do it on any computer, and you can get a lot of data from around the world. It's very easy to do. So the access to data, which is the key thing for artificial intelligence, is unbelievable, unparalleled. When you look at things like medical application, you can get a lot of records from a lot of people, and then if you have access to WikiLeaks, they can actually give you even more data you're not supposed to get, so it's all very accessible. Putin can help. All right. The second thing that happened is unbelievable computation power in the cloud. When we did this project back 30 years ago, we had a mainframe. It was very strong. And we had to take days and nights and hours just to get our samples to think about, digest that. Today, you get it on a personal level. You can get computation power from Amazon, from Google, much stronger, way stronger than ever we had. And of course, if you're doing research, if you're Google or you're a big company that have access to this, you can do unbelievable things from computation power. So that was the second reason why artificial intelligence started to accelerate. And the third thing, there's always something at the end that have to make quick decisions, like we are. And I'm going to touch self-driving. But obviously, the last thing we want in self-driving is to get the artificial intelligence from the cloud. Can you imagine the car drive itself and then has no reception? That's not a good idea. You got to have a lot of computation power in the device. And those things really got stronger and stronger as people worked on gaming, on mobile devices. So the CPU of those devices are stronger than what I had in the mainframe back 30 years ago. So those three things cause artificial intelligence to advance. So the first hint that artificial intelligence is now starting to rival human brain was in 1996. Well, at the time, Garry Kasparov, the world champion in chess, played against Deep Blue. That was a mainframe or series of mainframe done by IBM, played chess. First time, big match. So the way they said they're going to do 6 games, and whoever's going to win, they're going to determine whether a computer can match up to the best chess player in the world. In chess, you win, you get a point. It's a tie, you get a half a point. Actually, Kasparov lost the first game, but he figured the computer. He figured out the computer thing, and then he didn't lose any game. And then he finished 4-2. They got a couple of draws, but then he won 4-2. IBM says, we want to meet again for 6 games next year. Garry Kasparov says, good, you pay me enough, I'll show up. He's a good guy, actually. Live in the US, and big on human rights. So he showed up, I think it was New York, 97. And then he played the first game, and he won the first game. He said, OK, that should be easy enough. Then something happened. He played the next game, and he lost. Remember, he lost the first game, the first series, but he figured the computer. Garry Kasparov freaked out when he lost the second game. He figured out the computer figured him. The computer improved tremendously from the first game to the second game, learned how Kasparov played, and beat him. And he said, this is unbelievable. That was just yesterday. And he lost it 3.5 to 2.5. So that was 97. We started with internet, big data, mainframe computer. That was the first thing that's coming. That was a long time ago, 20 years ago. All right. Fast forward, a lot of advances in computer. And now, combine intelligence with general knowledge and so on, we got Jeopardy.
Well, we've just seen history made here on KXAN this afternoon. Watson, the supercomputer, wiping the floor with the 2 greatest human champions ever to play Jeopardy.
So that's another indication that computers now have access to data. They can think about history. They can win in Jeopardy, which is not a trivial game. They won in chess. We're starting to see a lot more advances in artificial intelligence. And people working on this, and sometimes they call it machine learning, because the machine really learns. And we're seeing things we didn't see before. And then just as an example, a few weeks ago, here in Las Vegas, in the Consumer Electronic Show, there were a bunch of devices that have some sort of artificial intelligence got announced. For example, there is a collar for a dog that tries to sense the dog mood. So if the mood seems to be changing, it will send a text message to the owner. It says, maybe your dog is sick, or your dog seems to be not in a good mood. And then maybe you play music that tend to increase the mood, and then learn the dog. OK, so OK, maybe what's the dog? So if you look at Mattel, they came with Aristotle for kids. It's kind of built on the Alexa that I think you have in your rooms here. We'll get to this in a little bit, but they will talk to the kids and learn the kids and try to interact with the kids and answer questions and so on. Those are a little device, cost little, $200, $300, have artificial intelligence, the connectivity to the cloud, keep learning. So those are here, announced, they're all shipping this year. Some of them, like this little robot in Japan, is a little creepy, but sometimes they do that in Japan. And then maybe the most amazing artificial intelligence, something I didn't think I would see in my lifetime, if you asked me 10 years ago, is the self-driving. That's really coming to life in the speed of light. I live about 10 minutes from Google, and I think I shared it a year ago when I talked about technology, is that almost every day I see the Google car driving with a person monitoring that. And the way they do that, they pick really good drivers, and the person drive a lot of the time, and the car watch how the person drive, and then they learn from this. And then a year ago, they looked at all the time when the person got to intervene, because if the person thinks the car is going to do something dangerous, they intervene and take over. That's the reason why the person is there. And almost 90% of the time when the person intervened, the car was right, the person was wrong. That started to show the car is becoming a bigger driver than the person. Okay? That's really started to be interesting. Now, that's not just Google. You see Uber is working on self-driving, almost launched in San Francisco, some objections to this. And then Tesla started to develop their own. So in my Tesla, I have the autopilot. It's a small version of self-driving. It stays on the lane, or it will switch a lane on the highway, very safe. The only thing that's not safe about it, you get relaxed because the car is driving. You can easily fall asleep. You really need to stay aware. And what Tesla does, if they feel you're not holding the wheels, after a couple of minutes, they will start to beep and slow down the car to make sure you're awake. Because it's easy to go to sleep when the car is driving. And now, Tesla is about to launch the next generation, which is full self-driving. And actually, they had this cool video, which should be in every Tesla. You see, cars very aware of bicycles, of stop signs, of other cars, drive to the destination. And you can think about the impact to life. I mean, a lot of people in the world have an hour commute each direction. It's a stressful thing. Nobody say, I love my commute. It's really a great thing to be in the car for an hour, watch the speed, not knowing when I'm going to get. So it's going to relieve a lot of free time. You can be a lot more productive. Number of accidents is going to go down dramatically because the cars, there's no DUI as far as known cars. Cars don't fall asleep, always awake, great sensors. Obviously, you can control traffic much better. If there's traffic in one highway, the car can take through another way. Very exciting stuff. So with all of that, I get excited. This is something like 30 years ago I thought would never see in my lifetime. And now it's all this development going so quickly. So I think AI is like a wonderful thing. So I said, maybe if I give this talk, let's see if people share my enthusiasm. So with the help of Google, I did an online survey with over 1,000 people. And I asked this very simple question. Is artificial intelligence good for the future of the world? Yes or no, or I don't know. To my surprise, it was kind of equal between yes and no. And half the people said, I don't know. I don't think we got this answer on mobile device. I don't think when Apple introduced the iPhone, we'll get half the people say, I don't know if it's good for the world. And then another half of what's left will say, no, it's not good. So I show you people really worried about that. And by the way, those are the people that will do online surveys. This whole survey is done with Google, online with people. So those are the people that actually like technology. They go online. So I said, OK, maybe there's a lot of people that are really afraid of technology. Maybe they're older age. They remember how things were before the internet. How about if I only screen people at the age of 18 to 35? Those should be very enthusiastic about artificial intelligence. So slightly better, 30%, 31% said yes, 24% said no, and still close to half the people saying, I'm not sure that if AI is good for the world. And that's coming. That's not something hypothetical. It's happening in every field that we talk about, including printing, and I'll get to this. That was interesting. So I said, OK, I want to do one more survey and see if I can entice more enthusiasm. So I'll take just one area, self-driving. Who would not want the car to drive itself? When you sit in the car, now you can text, not worry if there's a police person looking at you. You can be productive, you can sleep, you can read. Great use of time, and you can be safe, and you don't worry about commute. I thought it would be a slam dunk. Once again, we're in the survey, general population. Now there's more people that know that they have an opinion. Not 45, 35% of people say, I'm not sure. But it's almost equal. Actually, more people say it's, margin of error. Equal amount of people say it's not good for the world, self-driving is good. That was stunning. And once again, I said, OK, let's see what the young population want, 18 to 35. OK, now we got 41% saying it's good. So the young population are endorsing self-driving. But still, between the no and, I don't know, a big margin of something that's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years around us. It's there. The technology is there. So this has got me thinking. And I said, OK, those guys they don't know about AI. I'm going to look to see what the people that really understand technology think about AI. I'm sure I'm going to find a lot more enthusiasm there because I'm really excited about that. So I was looking to see what Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, SpaceX, he's just, every week he has a new video of self-driving. He must be very excited about AI, right? So this is what he said. We need to be super careful with AI. It's potentially more dangerous than atomic bombs. I mean, there's nothing more dangerous than atomic bombs, so this is very scary. I said, okay, maybe he wants to be, like out there. Let's find somebody, science that really respected by everybody, that really has good thought and not going to be extreme. So I looked at Stephen Hawking. And he said, the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Okay, well, it's not that bad. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's not like we will be less productive. We will be stupid. It's the end of the human race. So I said, okay, well, those guys are smart. It's not just a survey online. So one thing they're talking about is how fast we're moving. We're getting to the point that machines will get smarter than human. And this point is called the singularity. When the machine gets smarter than human, at that point, there's no turning back. That's actually what people think. At some point, machine will be good in one task than human, that will be the end of the equality. And this one task is when machine know how to program the machine, write software better than us human, it's game over. Because they can program better and better and better and better. So before you run and disconnect all the computers, it's not there yet. And I know they're listening. They're going to go after me, all the artificial intelligence. Then I said, a guy that is really measured guy, always not trying to be very balanced, is Bill Gates. So I looked to see what he thinks about it. And he said something interesting. He says, the first AI is machine who's just going to do jobs that we do. Okay, that's good. As long as it's not a CEO job, I'm not concerned. But a few decades later, they're going to be smarter than man and enough to be concerned. All right. So I said, okay, I'm going to go one more time to my survey and ask people, what's the biggest concern about AI? Is it the jobs that it's going to replace? Is it the nukes? Again, very interesting results. So most people say, I'm worried that it will take jobs. And we're going to talk about it because it's a real worry. But a quarter of the people. But then even more people says bad people or bad countries are going to use it to do something really, really bad. And I don't know if you watched 60 Minutes just a couple of weeks ago. They were showing new drones that have artificial intelligence. And the idea is to give the drone the ability to make decisions in wartime. So if the drone can shoot a person in wartime without any authorization, that's a new level of wartime. And then imagine somebody is doing a bug, not programming. It never happened to EFI engineer, but what if it happened to those guys? And as a bug, this drone continued to start to shoot innocent people. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, it's very risky just on that. And of course, bad people can go and use it in a really bad way. So only 26%, quarter of the people says they're not worried about artificial intelligence. So one last time I went, okay, let's see what the young people see. Okay, young people are about the same, but less. Just 1/5 of the people says they're not worried about artificial. So while they're less concerned about some areas, they're actually more concerned about artificial intelligence than the rest of the population. Maybe because they have more years to live, they're worried more about artificial intelligence. All right. So I want to go back to this jobs, and I want to talk something, touch the point that I had last year, and I want to build on this. So the jobs thing of artificial intelligence is a real concern. We're actually seeing it already. Between automation, we're seeing jobs reducing. A lot of the jobs can be done by machines. And I gave this example last year, so I'll go very quickly. I said, if you look at the difference between Blockbuster and Netflix, you can argue that Netflix replaced Blockbuster, how we rent videos, right? At 2004, Blockbuster had $6 billion for movies rental. At 2014, Netflix had the same revenue 10 years later with online renting. The shocking thing is Blockbuster had 60,000 employees back in 2004, and Netflix had 2,000 employees in 2014. So the same people generate the same, but probably have more movies being rented and 30 times less employees. And we see it everywhere. There was a Wall Street Journal article about that a couple months ago. You don't want to read it, it's scary. But one of the examples they gave is if you take the 3 largest car companies in 1990, their revenue combined was $250 billion. Their market cap was $36 billion. And they had 1.2 million employees generate this kind of revenue. Now, if you take Google, Apple, and Facebook in 2014, their revenue was about the same, almost equal. Their market cap was 1 trillion, so 30 times bigger valuation, because their ability to grow profitably is so much better. And then they have 10x less employees generating the same amount of revenue. And this is not just software. Apple does a lot of hardware. Of course, they outsource that. But it's not just this is beyond just Facebook having few employees in Mountain View doing it. This is a big company that invests a lot of things, including self-driving. So it's showing how the world is moving to a place where it's more automated. So I read this Wall Street Journal article, and I had friends come over from Israel, and they wanted to go around, and they wanted to go to Napa Valley to drink some red wine. And I said, okay, let's stop on the way. There's a Budweiser factory. I'm getting into packaging. I want to know more about packaging. I want to stop and take a look. So we stopped. We got a tour of 1 hour. It's a wonderful place if you live in the Bay Area to go to see. It's really very impressive. They have 36 type of Budweisers. They used to have only one and then only two. And now it's like digital printing, variable data. They have like 36, and you can taste them. Most of them are pretty good. And if you're still awake enough at the end of the tour, they show you how they make it. And it's very impressive. So the guy that gave me the tour is a retiree. He worked there until 10 years ago. And then in the last 10 years, he's just giving tours to people. So I asked him, I said, okay, how many people work here today? He said, 300 people. I said, okay, and how many people used to work in the factory 10 years ago? He said, 900 people. I said, what happened? Did you export jobs to Mexico? I'm going to call Trump and tell about you. No. I mean, you have less thing? Well, why you go from 900? He said, we're doing more volume, more taste, more type of beers. Everything is automated. We don't need as many employees. It's all computer. So think about it. This is Silicon Valley, 900 to 300, and that's before artificial intelligence. So I also want to mention that EFI has something to do with that too. I mean, in our own little way, so every once in a while I see this press release, or I see a company, this is a wonderful customer in Malta, and they said, we cut 50% of the administration labor because we implement your MIS. And I hope that a lot of you that implement our products can do more with less labor, because then that's how you get more competitive. But it's technology everywhere is actually helping you to get to do things with less people. Then, on that note, well, the next step is robots, right? And we're seeing some amazing thing with human-like robots that are fueled by artificial intelligence. There is this famous series online, Westworld, which is a little creepy, about robot spark and human interaction. But here's a robots that actually got interview live on CNBC. They used to interview CEOs, and now they interview robots. And that's actually pretty good. Look at it.
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi there. Everything is going extremely well.
Do you like talking with me?
Yes, talking to people is my primary function.
Actually, talking to people is my primary function too. Is this going to replace me one day? Anyway, very interesting. And I was thinking as I was watching football this weekend, I was thinking, what's the next step? Like when Garry Kasparov lost to artificial intelligence, are we going to see the Patriot losing to a team of robots? Sometime soon, obviously, the robots can play hours without need to be recharged a little bit. They don't need timeout. They have better sensors. Is the next Super Bowl in like 10 years going to be the robots of this Silicon Valley against the robots of New York? Interesting. And then I saw that, and that actually got us thinking and led to EFI first AI official product, still better. I'm going to show you that after that. First time worldwide. Member of media, please don't report about it. It has to be confidential. But this invention by Facebook, and specifically the Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg, that decided to take AI seriously and actually have an administrative assistant that is in the cloud, anticipate what he wants, both at home, 24/7, and the office, where he can interact. It was an amazing thing. And because it's Facebook, they have money, they're famous, a little bit more than EFI. He got Morgan Freeman, which is known to be the voice of God, to be the voice of this cloud. And I'm just going to show you a little clip. I'm going to show you a little clip.
Jarvis knows when to make me breakfast.
Your toast is ready.
All right. It's time for my call with Shrek. Can you get him on the video conference line?
Setting up the VC room now. Remember to check on the AI guidance system for Aquila.
One of the best things about Jarvis is it could recognize people at the gate, let them in automatically, and then just tell me about it.
Mark, your parents are coming in.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
It's Jarvis.
Seems like the AI assistant is very particular in his name. Jarvis doesn't want to be spelled. But that's amazing. Control his house, his breakfast. So we actually, at EFI, we've been working on something very similar that can be an admin for us and our customers. And we thought if I can ask EFI Marketing to bring it in. Yeah. Next year, it will be a robot bringing it in. This is based on the EFI latest Fiery platform. It's an amazing platform. A lot of intelligence, both natural and artificial, got into this. But that's how we're still building a prototype. We don't have the same resources. And with that in mind, you need to understand, although we wanted to sign Morgan Freeman to be the voice of our system, we don't have the budget of Facebook. So our marketing team worked to find something similar. And they told me just before I went that they finally find somebody offshore, online, never met the guy. He says it's very similar. Actually, his name is Morgan Friedman. It's like a Jewish version of Morgan Freeman, and it's as good, if not better. So, okay. So let me try. Again, this is live. Try. If it doesn't work, don't blame me. Highly confidential. We call it EFI AI. Hello, EFI AI.
Hello, AI Master. What do you need?
Nice. Let's start with easy questions. EFI AI, what's your name?
My name is EFI AI.
EFI, okay, EFI. What's EFI stand for?
I was told that you are supposed to know that. EFI stands for Electronics for Imagine.
Close enough. It's still need to work on bugs. Okay, and what's AI stand for?
AI stands for Awesome Inkjet.
Awesome Inkjet. Okay, that's good. All right, so you okay with the EFI AI name? You like EFI AI?
Actually, I prefer to be called Nano.
Nano. Where did I hear this name, Nano? Okay. Anyway, Nano. Can you scan the audience, please?
Yes, AI Master.
Okay. Can you spot a customer then?
I am very good at spotting customers.
Of course you are. Okay. Do you have somebody that already installed an EFI product, inkjet product in 2017 in the audience?
Yes, AI Master. There is one in row 2, 3 chairs from the left.
Okay, let's check. Let's see what's going on here. Again, it might not be correct because it's the first time we're trying it. Okay. Oh, fine. So is it true? Did you install a product from EFI already?
It is true.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So what did you get?
We bought a GS 2000.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take a risk. Is it working well for you?
It is, thank you.
Okay. What's your company do?
The company is 4 Walls. 4 Walls has been around since the 80s, designing wall coverings for really all the old rotor-gravure manufacturers. I would say towards the end of the wallpaper days, the previous owner had the foresight to get into digital. About 6-7 years ago, he created a brand program called Level Digital Wall Coverings, which is sold through distribution channels. And my wife and I decided to do something crazy about a year ago and quit our jobs and bought it from the previous owner, former CPAs. It was a bit of a risk, but we're learning quite a bit. I'd say about a year ago, I knew nothing of EFI. By June, we were probably it was June or July meeting with the sales rep from EFI, and now we have now we're proud owners of a new GS 2000. So.
Fantastic! Congratulations! Yeah. I hope it will work for you. And if I can put you on the spot one more time, I mean, what do you think about artificial intelligence?
I was a little bit scared. I mean, my first iPhone was an iPhone 4 because I'm a slow adapter. Our employees actually bought my wife and I an Echo for Christmas. It's still in the box because we're afraid of it, but I will tell you that after listening to you, I'm more afraid. So.
Yes. So. All right, fair enough. All right, thank you very much, Brian. Great job, thank you. Excellent. Okay, now, this is a customer never heard about EFI before they bought the inkjet. Is there EFI, is there a customer that have multiple products from EFI, like inkjet and software?
There are a few here. The first one is in row 5, seat 1.
Ah, got it. So you really have multiple EFI products?
I do.
Okay.
We
Tell
have-
us about the company and what products you have.
So we are a promotional spring out of Miamisburg, Ohio, and we serve the retail market. So we do a lot of POP, a lot of wide format. So Pace runs our business. So Pace integrates with a lot of different products from EFI and some products outside of EFI. And then on the inkjet side, we run two Vutex, an LX3250 and an LX3. And LX3 was what we put in 2017.
Fantastic. And business is good?
Very good, yes.
Very good. Excellent. Very good to hear. And we're doing well for you. And, you know, just between us, is EFI okay? Or?
Most of the time.
You can
no.
complain to me if it's...
No,
I know.
I'm very happy. Honestly, the growth we've experienced, it's been through hard work and great partnerships, and EFI has been a huge part of our success.
Excellent. Great to hear. So just, again, to put you on the spot, talk about AI. What do you think about AI?
My first reaction is creepy.
Creepy. Yes.
But I think from a manufacturing standpoint, I'm excited to see how that will continue to impact our business.
Excellent.
So
very good. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay. Very good. So I actually was looking to find somebody that actually bought one of the products we're announcing here and already installed that. We have this beautiful Vutex 5R, the latest 5-meter LED. You guys need to see it. It's an amazing roll-to-roll product. And I heard somebody already installed it in the US. So let's see, EFI, oh, Nano. Where is the customer that already bought it and installed it, was a trial customer and already used it in the US?
This customer is not in the audience, AI Master.
How did that happen?
He had to stay in New York due to a very important meeting.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, I can put him on the screen now if you would like.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's.
Hi, Guy. Hope Connect is going well for you. Sorry I can't be there. As you know, the discussion with the new machines between the automation and the technology involved, that it's almost an artificial intelligence situation. Well, I don't know about being actually artificially intelligent, but I can tell you that the productivity and enhancements in the equipment are nothing short of amazing. We really are excited about the equipment. As you know, Sandy Alexander has installed a 5R, and we've been operating it in production for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and we are very pleased with the results. Two aspects of the machine, as you're aware, a 5-meter machine, being able to get a significant amount of throughput is a given. But in terms of the LED print quality, being able to produce anything that a latex machine or conventional machine would do is terrific. The output is nothing short of amazing in terms of quality. And also the inline cutting, the XY cutting, is a tremendous time saver, efficiency, speed to market, everything that you would expect. And we're very excited to be part of this new venture with you, and we look forward to many, many more. Good luck at Connect, and thanks a lot, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Okay, so as I do those fireside chat, although I never did it with a robot before, I always finish with some personal question, but I want to ask to see how much this Nano guy know about me. So, hey, Nano, can you play one of the great songs that I like?
I am very sorry to say none of the songs you love are great.
Okay. All right, play your most favorite song. Okay, go.
Okay, here's my favorite.
Somebody hacked into my Nano. Okay, last question is I always finish the movie question. Hey, Nano, what's your favorite movie?
Well, I don't see many movies, but the last memorable movie I saw was in the 70s. You remember,
No,
Guy?
cancel. I don't want this answer. No. I had really bad experience with this. No, cancel. All right, so as you see, the technology is still under wrap, still working, but there's a lot of potential with EFI AI. But to be a little serious, we are working on some AI projects at EFI. I'll tell you a little bit, and we talk a little bit about, just touch the implications for the printing industry. So first is really part of what we do to be successful, especially when it comes to digital printing, is ability to grab somebody's attention. This whole thing about variable data, direct mail, is about getting customers to really react to the images. And every person reacts differently to different images. As we know, Benny sometimes reacts differently to different, no, so, anyway. And so going back to this, even on the boxes of the pizza, can you see, it can change the boxes and the images based on what the AI configure works in this city. Maybe they will spot a pattern that on Tuesday night or football night, people tend to order more stuff if the pizza delivers a certain box. Or maybe they start other pattern, certain age, certain geography, certain zip code. They can really mine the database worldwide and help us to put the right images, no longer just a database and rules, and get great images on whether that's packages, brochures, clothes, building materials. One of the biggest things with buying clothes online is that people return it. When it's come, it's not as good as they expected it. But artificial intelligence can help the apparel industry to actually do a better match. So this connection between what customers really want and react to what you print is a very strong opportunity with AI. And here's an example of what we do. Many of you are using PrintFlow. It's a learning application for scheduling. It's learning your equipment, it's learning your capacity, and then it's learning your rules, and then it's getting to help you to schedule job in the most productive way to deliver on time or before time to customers. And this is a customer in Italy that told us, look, I'm actually teaching PrintFlow, but PrintFlow learned for me. After a while, the brain of PrintFlow got everything I know, and now it's scheduled like me, which is great. Look at the slide, I figured that we still have a screen to remind us the 80s, but the artificial intelligence is definitely built in. The other big project at EFI is about really making a smart print production. And there's a lot of work that not just us do, a lot of other customers are looking at this because they know that's the way of the future. For us, a big focus is on preventive diagnostics. We want to know about a customer problem before the customers have a problem, because that will save us time and the customer time. We want to look at, especially when we talk about inkjet, look at the inkjet device that says, the last 10,000 times this happened, 75% of the time there was a problem 2 months later with that. So let's try to prevent it. Or tell customers, make sure you dial this or replace that or do this. Or the machine will do that. We can tell it remotely. So we want to watch and compare pattern and compare data and use artificial intelligence and work on this. The goal we gave our engineering group that work on that is we want to improve uptime, right? It's not enough we see some results. We also want to reduce maintenance costs by 25% for us and the customers. We want to improve the first time fix by 50%. Sometimes what happens is the machine is so complex, technician come, think the problem is this, replace it. It works well until a few weeks later, apparently the problem was something else, and they fix just the symptom. We want to be able to improve it, not to 50%, from where we are by 50% better, first time fix, whether it's remotely and by technician. Same thing for software. We want to see when software running into the max, we want to send back commands and prevent the problem for customers. So for those of you who are ready to rush and buy it, we're not ready, we're still working, it's probably a few years away. But it's an exciting area for us that we invest in artificial intelligence. Bottom line is, if we do that, it will help top line and bottom line of customers. They're going to come back. We'll have the robot that's going to give the keynote address in 2 or 3 years, going to introduce even more happier customers, right? So we started talking about the next big wave in technology. And we talk about all the 4 things that happened before that. Personal computer, the 3 big wave, personal computer, the internet, mobile life, and then the 4th one coming very soon in many areas in artificial intelligence because of the reason I talked about. And I know there's some really scary thing, but we should embrace the good thing and utilize it to make our life better and more productive, and as industry more competitive. EFI is definitely signing up for this, and I know many of our customers signing up for this. So hopefully we come and report to you as we make progress, and hopefully we help to start think about artificial intelligence and start to prepare for that. And with that, I actually want to finish with directing your attention to actually a very strong natural intelligence that we're going to have in the conference. Tonight, we're going to have the fireside chat with Jeff Jacobson, the new CEO of Xerox, and that's actually Jeff's first public appearance other than TV interview when they go live just a couple of weeks ago. And so he's going to take all my questions and maybe a couple of questions from the audience, and we're going to learn all about the new Xerox after the split. And then tomorrow, the CEO of Quad Graphic, Joel Quadracci, is going to be here in the morning, 8:15, I think, and he's terrific. I talked to him on the phone about that, and his story is super interesting. So A lot of natural intelligence there. So I hope I'll see everybody there. I hope you will sleep well at night, not worry too much about the artificial intelligence. And I hope I got you thinking about it. And looking forward to see many of you in Connect during the next few days. Thank you very much.